I'm skipping number 7. I'll explain it to you when I return. Recall every angle on the unit circle has an infinite amount of coterminal angles. For instance, name 3 angles that are coterminal with 10. Well, you could add 360 to get 370 degrees. You could subtract 360 to get negative 350 degrees. Or you could add 360 again and get 730 degrees. So for 8, it says to name 4 different pairs of polar coordinates that represent point S. The S is here. So the first thing we're going to do is count from the origin out to point S. And we're just counting the rings. 1, 2, 3. Then we need to look at the angle. S is at 150 degrees. Now that was the angle in a counterclockwise direction. What about the angle in a clockwise direction? So the R would stay the same as 3. And then we need to figure out this angle, negative. So we're going to take 360 minus 150, negative 210. So that's the exact same point, but in a clockwise direction. The other way you can look at this is to look at the negative angles. So there are 2 cases. We're going to count backwards. Well, which angle is backwards from 150? That's 330. So if I counted to 330 and went backwards 3, I would get point S. That was going counterclockwise. What about clockwise? Clockwise, it goes negative 30 degrees. What you have to do is subtract 360. For number 9, it gives you the point negative 2, negative 120 degrees. So I have to plot my point. I need to find negative 120, which would be here, and count 2 rings. 1, 2. Sorry. Count backwards 2 rings from 20. 1, 2. Here is point J. So now we're going to name 3 other pairs. So we're going to have 2 positive and another negative. So negative 120 was clockwise. Well, how do I get to negative 120 going counterclockwise? You can add 360 and you get 240 degrees. Or we can use positive and use 60 degrees, which is the angle that our point is on. Or if we went negative and went clockwise all the way to 60 degrees, we would have negative 240 degrees. For numbers 10, 11, and 12, you start to get a little different. They're not points. This says a radius of 3. Well, where is the radius 3 in respect to the origin? Counting out 3 rings. 1, 2, 3. I get a circle of radius 3. I'm going to skip to number 12. It says a radius of negative 2. Start anywhere, count backwards 2. 1, 2. And here is my radius of negative 2. For 150, for number 11, there's 150. If I want the angle of 150, excuse my straight line, I'm going to draw a straight line through, and this is an angle of 150.